It's going to be completely changing the landscape of the beaches in Split once this is done. So, and they are really working like crazy on this, so I really look forward to seeing this when it's finished. Stop here, you see. Down here they constructed a bridge over. Here they constructed a bridge, so there's a small cave down there you can visit. But be careful. And as you see, water splashing up here. When it's a bit more stormy weather, you cannot walk here. Oh, you can walk here, but you would definitely get wet. Hi everyone, today I'm gonna show you the beaches in Split, and we have quite a few of them. They are located basically, now we are standing on the Riva in the middle of the center, and the beaches are located either west of the city or east of the city. And as there's quite a few of them, we are gonna cheat a bit today, or I'm gonna cheat a bit today, and I'm gonna take a bike. Otherwise it would take too long time to show you around. All information about the beaches you will be able to find on my website. We will also add most of the information inside the video, so it's easy for you to navigate around when you get to Split to get to the best beach, the beach which fits your preferences. So that's basically what we're gonna do today. So get ready, we're gonna hop on the bikes. So now we are riding basically down the Riva and we'll continue through the city here until we get to the first beach. So as you can see down here on the Riva, you have a lot of stands selling tours. So if you wish to go to an island or just out on a boat, you know, you can book all the kinds of different tours here. For instance, here 3 days island cruise. There's cruises during the day, there's a boat party, so literally anything you can think of. Let's see, you really need to watch out. Okay, we managed that part. You see there's a lot of boats. These boats you see here is what we call gullits. That's basically mini cruisers. So on these boats like the one you see here, the gray one, there's space for probably around 25 people or something like that. Usually there's around 12 cabins on the boats, and you can basically book yourself a cabin for a week's cruise where you go around seeing islands nearby. Now we are getting closer to the first beach. I don't know how far this is in actual meters, but it's definitely not a problem walking here. So we are literally driving here along the first part of the beach. This beach is called Barsvitje, and it is probably the most popular beach simply because of the proximity to the center and proximity to a lot of hobby Airbnbs and other stuff. As you can see, Barsvitje is a sandy beach. One of two, I would say two sandy beaches we have here at Split, and also the water is very shallow, so you can basically walk out at least 100 meters without any problem. So if you have kids and stuff, you know, this is a good place to swim, but it is very crowded during the days. You just need to be aware of that. Another interesting part about Barsvitje is that basically you have a game called Pitsygin, which I think was invented by somebody from the Czech Republic. I'm not sure if they invented it here or actually in the Czech Republic, but it's a very common game here. So you will see people playing that basically 365 days a year. Even when I come here 1st of January, you know, there would be people out playing a game of Pitsygin, and which basically the game is, you have the core of a tennis ball where you wrap something around it so it gets a little bit rubbery, and then basically you play, you need to keep this ball in the air using feet, hands, etc. So you have some amazing acrobatic jumps from the ones who is really skillful. As you can see on the sign here, you have lifeguard, and basically that applies for more or less all beaches in Split from around 1st of June till at least end of August. You have lifeguards on the beaches, so that's quite comforting. And then basically you would find these kind of signs. This one is a little bit overpainted, but you will find these kind of signs kind of telling you what you can do at the beach and what you can't do. I'm just going to stop here at the water so you kind of get a glance on it. You can see, you know, sand, sand, sand everywhere. So basically all this part down here is shallow and full with the nicest sand. So if sand is your preference, this is basically the beach you should go for in Split. So the buildings you see in front of me is you know, restaurants, coffee bars. There's a lot of them when you get around the corner here. And here, by the way, you can play water polo if you're skillful in that. Now here you have different coffee bars, and you also have, I think up there, some nightclubs. So you could end up, if you're for going out and partying, this could be the place you would end up late in the evening. And if you're not too, if you like to jump in the water, you can see when you get down to this end of the beach, you have a much deeper water, and you can actually go out here and jump in. And you have ladders so you can get up and down. You have showers more or less on all beaches here. So if you want to wash off the salt water, that shouldn't be a problem. So now we're going to the second beach. I mean, there's no fixed separator, but this beach we get to now is called Ovčice. It may be a bit hard to see now, we have the sun directly towards us, but going out in the morning and having to go west and east, you can't simply avoid it. So this one is a pebble beach, and there's some rocks, so different kind of beach compared to Basvice. And here you have a coffee bar actually, so if you like to be at a beach where you can go and have a coffee, maybe beer, soft drink, this beach offers. Okay, there's a bit of waves now, probably a ferry or some boat pass by it out here with speed. Normally waves are not an issue here. We're gonna do the next to the sea tour. No, and now we're gonna get over to the next beach. So you see, bay by bay, it's a new beach. So this one is called Firole. And now you are basically back to a sandy beach again. So you can get around here with the bike, of course. Now it's relatively early in the morning, so riding here with the bike is possible. If you try it during the day, you probably would be walking, because there would simply be way too many people for you to stay on the bike. In that case, I recommend you, the road is up here, and it's a relatively quiet road, so just ride up on the road in this case here. And as you see, water splashing up here. When it's a bit more stormy weather, you cannot walk here. Oh, you can walk here, but you would definitely get wet. The sandy beach, you see the sand here. So this one is also very popular with families, with kids. going this way. And here you also have coffee bars a few meters up. You see, even now riding the bike is not possible anymore. And you see, no dogs allowed. There's actually one dog beach, which is the furthest to the west. We're not gonna visit it today, but so if you come to Split and you bring your dog, you can actually, there's actually a beach where you can specifically go with your dog, and it has various nice facilities, so quite nice place. So now we are basically at the end of Firole Beach. Now we are entering into the area of the Senta Marina. Here you basically only have big rocks, but then you have a place down here where you can enter the water, so it's still quite often well visited here. As you can see here with the Senta Marina, you have a few nice coffee bars, so great place to sit and hang out. And you also, that one is also a restaurant in the evening, and this building you see in front of me has, I think, maybe 3, maybe 4 restaurants. So if you're in the center area and you want to sit down by the water, you can definitely do that here. So now we get to the next beach. This beach is called Testanic Beach. As you can see, pebble beach. And because this one is a bit further out and there's no bus directly to the beach, this one is not as full as the other ones. And here the water is also a bit colder because you have a small stream coming from the mountains which runs out down here. As you see, I was a bit not complying. Here's the bike lane. No, here's the stream coming out. So the water just around this part would be a little bit colder, but nothing dramatic. The beach we are coming to now is basically, it doesn't really have a name as far as I'm aware, so you could call it the Testanic, but a beach as the other one. But I think because Testanic is up here, the neighborhood, but I think actually most people would refer to it as the Radisson Beach, because the Radisson Hotel basically is just up here, and they have a special beach area down here for their guests. Or not necessarily their guests only, you can basically also go there, rent a deck chair, buy the drinks, no matter if you're a guest or not, I think. Of course, you can also just lie down on the beach. In Croatia there's no private beaches, so nobody can deny you access to a beach if you want to go there. They can of course say you cannot be on the deck chairs unless you pay, but you are definitely allowed to be at the beach. So this is the beach club of Hotel Radisson, Mistral. My preferred beach here, Split, especially when it's not too crowded. So now we are here at the end of the beaches for now in Split. This is used to be the main beach area called Snjan in Split, which stretches from here and maybe, I would say, maybe a kilometer almost out, with lots of bays all the way. Years ago it used to have a lot of coffee bars and all this stuff, and then back and forth they've been rebuilding, changing the look of it. But now finally this year they started a huge project, so this is gonna be an insanely nice beach area for the years to come. It's gonna have multiple restaurants, coffee bars. There's going to be a lot of parking, so if you come from outside and want to go on the beach in Split, it would be definitely a great place to go. There's going to be places for various sports activities, for tennis, for beach volleyball, for skating, and other things I can't even recall all the places they're building. There's going to be a theater, there's going to be a lot of greenery, a lot of palms and all this kind of thing. So it's going to be completely changing the landscape of the beaches in Split once this is done. So, and they are really working like crazy on this, so I really look forward to seeing this when it's finished. Anyway, now I will continue. This is the last beach I'm going to show you on this side of the town. There is one more beach out at the end, as I mentioned earlier. There's a dog beach and a bit of a beach where people can also lie out there, but I'm not going to show you this one today because there's also construction work going on out there. So this we will keep for another video once Skjern and all this area is functioning as it's supposed to. So see you back in the city, then we will start checking out the beaches on the other side of town. So now we are back on the river, and as I mentioned before, we are now gonna show you all the beaches on the west side of the city center. And if I mixed up in some of the stuff I said before with east and west, you know, we are actually going now to the western part, and what we took this morning was the eastern part. So just to avoid any confusion. Anyway, we will get on the bikes again and continue out and show you these beaches. So, follow me. So, and as I mentioned, when we passed the center marina, the main marina is located here in the center. And the marina itself is all the way out to the end here. But as you see, you know, you have boats lined up already from here. Some are the mini cruise ships, the Gullits, but also some, I think, or actually I think only that's a rarity. I think majority of them are actually privately rented yachts. I think renting one of these would be way above my budget. So I'm sticking to a rented bike. Here's a new place which opened. Here you can eat chivabi and taste some nice wine from Isla Noir. And here. So when you're going to the beaches out here, you will basically follow this road. This is also where the bus would be going. And then the first beach we're going to is going to be a bit out here. But I'm actually going to take a nicer way out there, which I think not everybody knows. But it was just to let you know, if you're walking, you can just continue here and that way here, and that would actually take you to where you find some of the most popular beaches on this side of town. And this area is called Sustipan. There's a graveyard up there, but more importantly, there's a huge park here. So if you want to hang out in the green, this is a good place to go. And if you're walking, you would basically go through the park to get to this place where we're going now. There's a hotel down here. And in here there's a beach bar. And here we have a no bicycles welcome construction. I don't know if I can get through here. Probably I can. Just wait a second, hang on, I'm out. So as an alternative to following the main road, as I mentioned before, to get to the two very popular beaches, Kastellet and Kaasjoni, you can basically oh, sorry, there's also a dog beach here. I didn't know that. You can actually take your dog here. You see, you learn something every day. I never noticed. Anyway, as I said, this way is a good alternative if you're going especially to the Kastellet beach, because this is exactly where this path would lead us. If you're going to Kaasjoni, you can still take this one, but you need to climb uphill, as you will see later, which is maybe not that convenient. Up here it's gonna be a bit harder to ride. So I'm actually gonna jump off for a second. Just walk a little bit. Just gonna, before I jump back on the bike, just let's have a peek over here. What's down here? I think there used to be some kind of construction. I don't know what they actually used it for, but you can see you can actually walk down here, swim. Not sure what was the actual purpose. And we're just gonna stop here. You see, down here they constructed a bridge over. Here they constructed a bridge, so there's a small cave down there you can visit. But be careful. So in front of us you see they're constructing some stuff that's going to be some gardens, which is part of the Museum Mestrovic, which is up on the main road on the other side. Definitely something which is worthwhile visiting if you're in Split. And here, some interesting stuff. Just gonna go slow. I don't know if you see, but here's the remains of a cannon. I'm not actually sure what it's connected to, but you know, you see the construction here, it looks like kind of a mini fortress. And then you have the cannon here, cannonballs there. This construction here, not exactly sure what this was intended to be. Anyway, we are gonna continue. Probably it's not gonna get any better here. I don't think so. Okay, I managed to get out. So this is a really popular, really nice beach. Unfortunately, there's no place where you can sit for a coffee or anything like that. You're gonna stay here longer time, so make sure to bring drinks, food, etc., because you can't buy anything here. But definitely great beach. It's not a sandy beach, but it's very, very small. Now I just lost my bag. It's a very small pebble, so even for smaller kids, it's a great place to go. And as you can see in front of me, there's a lot of parking here, the cars parking here already now. So you can imagine when it's really peak time, you know, finding a spot to leave your car is going to be hard. And there's basically a second bay over here, which belongs to the beach. So it continues. Just gonna give you a small peek. See, it's out there. So one of the things you have to deal with if you do not go the way I did to Castel de Bies is this hill here. So not even my electrical bike is willing to take me up to the end. So see you on the top. Well, I managed to get back up to the main road. This is here you will be coming if you just follow the road from the river. And soon we're gonna continue that direction.
I'm only going to walk down there.
So I finally managed to, down to the Kashuni beach. It was a bit tricky getting down here the last part, lots of cars and stuff. But anyway, now we are here. So this is basically part of the beach. As you can see, it goes all the way out. Basically covers quite a big area. I'm not gonna do much filming, you kind of get the idea, just to show people, but there's a coffee bar down here. There's a coffee bar on the other end. We have a house for a tower for lifeguard, as in any other major beach. That's it. We're gonna move on from Kashuni to show you the beaches which are located inside the Mardian Forest Park, which you can see up here in front of us. So just follow me. So I made it up from the Kashuni beach. That was a bit steep, the hill, so it took some time getting up. My electrical bike didn't want to drive, so I had to walk all the way up. Anyway, now we are up, so we are gonna go back on the bike and ride in this direction. So we are gonna visit the beaches inside the Forest Park Mardian. That's a great electrical bike I got when I'm driving. Straight, the electrical function works. When I'm going uphill, it doesn't. I would rather have it reversed, but it is what it is. We're just gonna go against the traffic rules, cross the road, because basically we can see, now it's maybe better in a second, you can see the Kashuni beach from up. So this gives you a better idea how nice the area is. And if you like running, bike riding while you're in Split, Forest Park Mardian is your number one pick. Here there's basically either no or very few cars, because most of the park is no cars allowed. Till here you can basically go with the car, but then as you see, everything is closed off. And the good thing about going uphill for a long time is, of course, you get a bit of downhill. So, which is what I'm gonna enjoy now. You see, it's just so nice. And you have the sea all the way. Just gonna go over here. And even if you drive here, I forgot to mention, you still have a few cars which are people who work in the area, and you have bus number 12, which is allowed to go in here. So although I'm driving at the middle of the road, you definitely need to be able to hear when bus or car is coming. So on the left side here, you might find path leading down to the water, where there's small, you know, I wouldn't call it beaches, but places where you can, a few people or a handful of people can stay and jump in the water, but no regular beach in this part. But of course, as the sea is there, you know, if you're fine with jumping in from big rocks, don't find that tricky, then you basically can go to the water anywhere where there's not fence. As I said, with the water, you can stop so many places here in the park, fill up your water bottles, so you really don't have to worry about not getting liquid. And out here in the roundabout, it's basically also where the bus stops. So if you go from the city, take bus number 12, it will take you out here, so you're literally at the beach. And you can of course also get off the bus at both Kastellet and Kaasjoni Beach. As you see, way less people than what we found on Kaasjoni and Kastellet. So if you like a bit more private beach, definitely a recommendation. Usually there's a coffee bar here. I don't know what they're doing here. Probably there's some event or something like that, or they're just doing complete cleaning. So the great part of the beach here is also shallow water, so if you have kids, it's a great place to go. And lots of shadow, so you really don't need to think about that. And as you see a bit further up, you can rent kayaks. And then we're gonna go here. So this is basically the end of the beach. We have this bridge. You can also go on this side to swim. This is the Kastella Bay we are looking at. So basically, if you look into the right here, this split would be in there, and then basically all this out here, is Kastella. And if you follow it out here, you will have the airport out here, and further out at the end you will have Trågia. So this is the area, how it looks. You see somebody found themselves a private island here to enjoy a little bit. Anyway, now I'll see if I can get a coffee and take a small break. So we are now leaving Bene Beach, and mystery solved. I managed to catch one of the waiters. The reason why the coffee bar was not open today is because there's a wedding. So this afternoon or evening, so all the preparation was ongoing. So that means if you're gonna go to the beach on normal days, you would be able to get a coffee here. Now we're gonna continue around the northern path road on Marian. And I'm just gonna skip over here to the left side, just to give you an idea. So, all the way along the northern coast till the entrance to the Park Marian, you basically have places where you can jump in the sea. Most of the places are rock. Some have small concrete piers. In a few cases there's a little bit what looks like a real beach to enter the water, but that's only in a few places. Most of the places is basically like you see down here. Cliffs, rocks. But what's the great part is there's a huge amount of shade due to all the trees. So compared to Kaasjoni or Kastellet, where you're really being toasted, here you can sit in the shade and then jump in the sea from time to time. Here you see down there's a small place where you can actually walk into the water without having to climb down the rocks. Go anywhere along the north coast here, find a spot. There's lots of tables down there where you can also, if you bring lunch, you can sit at the table, enjoy your lunch in shade. So really great place. Can be a bit tricky to get down here, but I mean, If I manage, so will you. But have a look at the water. I mean, I would call this inviting, you see. Really clear water, so definitely a nice place to go swimming. But this is basically what you see here is what you will find for the most part along the northern part of Marian. So this probably, I hope that gave you an idea what kind of beaches you find here. Less accessible, the water less accessible, and maybe not too great for kids, but if you're going here as an adult or adult couple, this is a really nice place to hang out. So down here you have a nice beach where you actually, kids can easily go through the water here. I think this one is called, I think this one is the third water, but don't hang me up on it. It might be the first water. And here it's nice because you can actually go down to the parking at the marina. There's a big parking down there, so you can leave your car there and you can actually go here and have a swim if you don't feel like walking too much. So now we're gonna ride, and we are almost, now we're closing up on the park entrance from the northern side. And for this part here, there's basically no more beaches. It's the marina which is below us. So I basically want to say thank you for watching the video. I hope you got some idea where to spend the time on the beach when you get to Split. Please check out our website to see more information and tips for visiting Split, and also check out all the other videos we have about Split with tips, guides, all kinds of stuff which we hope is helpful when you visit Split. So until the next one.